Good night of Shabbos. Good night of Shabbos. So we are in Parshas Lech Lecha. What are we? What is the Torah teaching us this week as far as the work that we do? How to apply and how to have the confidence, to continue on the journey, the confidence to have permission to see things for what they really are, and not for what they appear or for what you are, for what we are. The narrative forced into a certain way of seeing things, which is productive only to create more confusion and more fear and more separation, more periods. Through fear, we go and we get tight and we close up. So, ויאמר השם על אברהם לך לך מארצך וממולדתך מבית אביך לארץ אשר אראך. So Hashem, the Eibishter, tells Avram to Avraham, but this week is still called Avram, to leave his ma'artzecha. Says Chassidus, artzecha is artzius, which is my the natural pull of what the flesh or what the body pulls to, the physical organism pulls to, or automatically to a certain artzius. It means like it's pulled down, it's heavy, it's rubbery, it's pointless. It's just for the sake of pain. There's no means to an end. Every spin is just for the sake of the spin. Every pain that we encounter, that we're experiencing, there is no reason for it. And there's just, in artzius, when we read it from the place of how the body perceives it, we go into just more pain and nothing. We're not moving forward. We're not getting ahead. So he says, leave that way of thinking, which is your place of birth, and from the house from the Tata's house, which means a certain structured way of seeing things, to process things. Ela aretz asher eka. So aretz is malchus, which is earth, which is the whatever Eretz Yisrael, but aretz means malchus. Malchus is the vessel that we're in. But the Torah is telling us how to read it, and this is all brought down here by Avraham Avinu, which is the Kava Chesed. Chesed is abundance, chasadim, kindness. That's the word I'm looking for. Kindness. El Oretz Asher Areka is that I'm going to show you, that you're going to see. I'm going to show it to you, which is what is Chachma. That's Chachma, and that is in the eyes, what we see. The eyes are Chachma. It sees everything. It sees everything for what it really is. It doesn't see it from a place of emotions. It sees it for what it really is. It has the visual how. How does that work? How can it see for what it is? Because it's Chachma, it's the right brain. What is Chachma? What is right brain? It has the ability to see the end result. It has the ability to see the outcome. In other words, so if one is in interaction with somebody and you get into an argument, if you already know the outcome, that person is in pain, let's say, or whatever, that is Chachma. It doesn't get tangled up in it doesn't get complicated. If you know deeply that in order for us to be here, there has to be, this comes from a place of tremendous which is pleasure, simcha, constant chasadim, constantly giving. Every breath is another breath from the kindness of Creator that keeps breathing us and keeping us here. In a way of not just in the physical body. The physical body is just here to give us the experience of our presence, but out of the body we don't know of our existence. So he's holding us here in many ways. In Machshava Dibur Ma'aseh, projecting a yesh me'ayin, that we are created out of nothingness, floating. Tala Eretz al Belima. At the end of the day, it's not as physical and as rigid as we think it is. It's in the presence, it's in the softness, in the letting go. But Ela Eretz Asher Echo, which means to read the data from a place of Chachma, from that perspective. From a place of Chachma, which is that now that we're projecting, we see whatever we project, as we know. We said this in the past, that we see whatever we see is what we're projecting, and that is what we know, because that's the way I project. What I know is what I project, and that's what I see. Malchus is the screen, which means that all the Nisyanis and everything that is spinning around in this place of Malchus is only for us to mirror it back, to feel that and let that laser beams, as they're turning, because Malchus is in separation, it causes time and space, so you can have this light that all of a sudden spreads out into a million pictures. It's like a crystal ball that has the cuts and all that, so you have one light that shows up and it sparkles in all directions. So Malchus does that separation. It gives us its time and space, which is a painful process because it stretches things out, so you can't see the full picture. You can't see the bird's eye view. But if you go out from the artsias, from the judgments, from judging everything the way, from whatever it was, whatever we were incubated, or whatever the case was, to go out from that place and start viewing it from a place from Chachma, intellect. When I see something from a place of intellect, I don't necessarily know how it's going to play out, because intellect is just an intellect. It's higher than consciousness. It's an intellect. The body and the left brain starts making sense of it. How could this possibly be? How could it happen? How can something shift and change? Doesn't make any sense. That is when we go into artias, when we go into separation. But when you look at audits, when you look at the earth, Malchus, the screen, you look at the screen with the point of looking back at you, that it shines back at you. Now I'm all of a sudden getting in touch with all the feelings and all the emotions, and being appreciative and having gratitude. Having gratitude that will ultimately get us into Eretz Asher Reka. Yeah, and all the Nisyanis, everything is, and a sign is not here to punish. It's here to point out. It's a sign. It's here to point out. My challenges are here to point out another level of fire from within, to spark something from within, to tap into the yesh ma'ayin, to tap into the neshama of things, which is higher than anything. And you can just, from any situation, by just holding space for that, that's how we connect and feed each other with positive flow, positive connection from the heart center connection. As we see, that's happening, a lot of connection. We also see there was a war this week that Avram went and he fought the kings, 4 kings that beat 5. So we're talking about giants of energy, giants of consciousness, that they were able to overcome something that was, at that time, was not possible, 4 against 5. But yet, Avram chased them and he killed all of them. Which means that when it comes to battle, it comes to war, it's not in the hands of what we see down here, in the hands of man. It's in the hands of the ultimate, but of the Creator, the ultimate power, which is Creator. and we know that he is full of compassion, full of kindness, and just wants to give. But what's in the way of that is the artius, my judgments. But if you go into your higher self, you forgive yourself, you're going into the end results, that you understand that he's compassionate and he wants to give, then we start giving birth to that. And then that's what starts showing up on the screen, and that's what comes back, and that becomes the reality. So the most important thing is to deal with fears in a way of opportunity. The fear, don't look at it from the lower conscience, from das Tachten, from artsies, from the atzvus and the heaviness, the offer and the afer. That is the texture of the body, because it's offer ve'efer. In order for it to be able to read the light, that's the projector in the screen. That's how it works. And it had to be made out of something that is completely bottle, null, void, so it can therefore receive the highest level of light, that it can hold space for that. Because if there was any type of ego in the middle of that, then it would just not be able to hold. It's like fire. Fire burns everything. So there has to be something as thin as air that can hold the fire. So you can surrender to it, and they can work together, be in sync together. One feeds the other. So of course there's the wood, the artsias, that holds the thing to begin with, all the way down here at the bottom. That's the wood holding it at the bottom, and then the fire is the intention, the truth, emunah, believing, and also knowing that the only way I can be here is from a place of compassion, from a place of kindness, tremendous kindness, that keeps just pouring down every single day to fuel everything that's going on over here. And the darkness is, once again, the darkness is just here for us to go deeper with it, and to overcome it from a place of chachma, intellect. All right, have an awesome Shabbos, and yeah, and say l'chaim. Good Shabbos.